Hey, what's up guys, Frost King here. Today I'm going to be going over this Giant Devil Minions deck. I just went a 12-0 in a Grand Challenge with it. It's super solid. I wasn't actually expecting to go 12-0 with it. I was just trying to learn Giant Devil Minions, and I realized that it was just a really viable option in this meta, considering that a lot of decks are only carrying like one direct damage spell. They're not carrying Fireball or Poison, they're just carrying like Zap and Ice Golem. Has been the combination that a lot of people are going to. So I ran that, and yeah, I got 12-0. So I'm going to show you guys a couple replays. I'm going to try to only show replays that actually are good and will help you guys out. And then also, after that, I'm going to do the chest opening, and then I'll probably turn on in one of these replays, I'll probably turn it on, and then I'll be going over matchups and things like that while the replay just plays, so you guys aren't looking at a blank screen. So, let's hop into this guy right here. He was 20 wins. Okay, we'll hop into this one. It's Miner Poison versus this deck with Furnace and all that stuff. So, I'll go over like what happened in the matchup. Don't necessarily remember how I won this one. I just remember a lot of Miner Chip and Fireballs. So, play that in 2 times. Yeah, just defending his Miner. And then right here I zap just to get some damage in. It forces him to play the Furnace. So we're up Elixir. So right here I start the Giant in the back, and I'm willing to sponge those first 2 Fire Spirits just so this Giant can move down the lane and soak up the rest. I play the Night Witch behind, and then I Fireball that because that's good Fireball value right there. I play some minions. He opts to Poison, and I Miner. Miner was an overcommitment in my opinion, but it's all good. So here I believe I just eat that again. I'm just going to start up another Giant push. I think that's what I do for the majority of this episode right here. Okay, actually I start the Giant up high because of that Dark Goblin. Missed the Giant placement. It should be a little bit farther down, like right in front of your tower is where it should be, but just a little bit in front. Right here I believe I'll probably play a Minion Horde, and then he's forced to play a Furnace right there. So, got the Night Witch moving down the lane. I'm just zapping to cycle when I get full on Elixir, and then I'm Fireballing. As you can see, I've kind of gave up dropping Giants. My Giants are only right now for sponging units. Then the rest is just Miner Fireball cycle, as you can see. Just trying to get good value. I realize that I'm not going to get a big Minion Horde through or anything along those lines, just because of the fact that he has the Poison, and he can basically stop my whole entire push. And if he doesn't have the Poison, then he has the Furnace, which he can drop. So as you saw, I just Miner cycled. If I tried continuing without Miners and just Minion Hordes and stuff, he would have won that matchup gradually through Miner Chip. So that was my main goal in that match. Okay. Right here, we're going to watch obviously P.E.K.K.A. Mega Knight. I think that's a good replay to watch. As you can see, it's crucial. Okay, P.E.K.K.A. Mega Knight with 3 spells, so that's even harder. But also, what I did in this matchup, as you'll notice, is I was absolutely perfect with my kiting, except for I think one time I missed the kite on, I think the very first P.E.K.K.A. actually. But other than that, I was kiting the Mega Knights and the P.E.K.K.A.s, and that's what you gotta do, because when the P.E.K.K.A. walks across, it's not taking any damage off of your Giant. Your tower's shooting at it, but you also get a really nice counter push, because it buys you all that time from when you drop your Giant for it to walk across. The tower's shooting it. Let's say you throw a Goblin Gang or Minion Horde on the P.E.K.K.A. You're going to have a Giant and a Minion Horde heading towards the tower with a full health Giant, and you just counter basically 7 Elixir for free. So that's a really good situation to get into, and I'm actually going to move this at 2 times because I was a little too slow. Yeah, we waited a long time for this, for the very beginning. I wasn't too happy with my starting hand. So right here, he plays a P.E.K.K.A. into the lane. I believe I send a Miner to the opposite tower. And then, right here, he does Minion, so I just Fireball. I play it safe. And yeah, I miss right there on that very first Giant. Bad play right there, but he plays a Mega Knight into me. So in this situation, I don't ever want to become vulnerable, and you want to bait out their Fireball first, which is exactly what I did right there. So I played the Minions, and then right here I get a nice zap, and I end up stopping that Bandit. And I think from here on out you guys will see how much I kite, because it ends up dragging on a little bit longer, and I get this nice push that connects. But P.E.K.K.A. will completely stop a Giant, plus he has all these other slowing units like the E-Wiz and all that, as you can see right here. It's walking across, I throw a Minion Horde on it, and then look, I have a Giant and a Minion Horde for free with a Miner on that side, a Goblin Gang going to the other side, which splits his Elixir. See, I drop a Night Witch here, and then I kite it again with a Giant, and then I'm playing Minions, then a Goblin Gang. That was a bad Goblin Gang. I should have, I don't know what I should have done right there, but it ended up dying. So right here is a perfect kite too. I realize the P.E.K.K.A is going to kill it, so I need to be kiting the P.E.K.K.A. He does all that. I fireball. I get a good fireball. Get a good Goblin Gang right there. I end up zapping, and I believe I just eat this damage with a Night Witch. And then I'm just gradually trying to minor cycle him out. So I do a fireball right here, and then I kite once again with the Giant. I play the Goblin Gang and I zap those minions, and then I send a miner to the tower. So I basically got a good connection early on, just doing from kiting and from gradual chip with the Goblin Gang and all of that. But as you saw, if I hadn't kited throughout that match or had my kites like correct, I would have been in some really bad situations and I would have lost that match. So that's your end goal. Is you're trying to kite the P.E.K.K.As and create a push off of that. And if they don't play their P.E.K.K.A, don't be playing a Giant in the back. As you saw, I was very passive playing my Giant. I was never going to play a Giant until he played his P.E.K.K.A. So don't get antsy. Just gradually minor chip them if they're not playing their P.E.K.K.A, and you will end up winning that match. So, let's see. I'm going to go into my 12th win right now. This was against a guy from Sandstorm, Brazil. And pretty good player right there. 184,000 cards won. 5,700 personal best. So he's running the Hog Mega Knight deck, but with minions. And this deck can be fairly difficult because he has the Inferno Dragon, but as you can see, I navigated around it and I found a way for it to work out. It's also pretty difficult because Giant double minions traditionally does not do well against Hog. I'm lucky he wasn't running the poison variation of this, or else I would have been in some big trouble. But yeah, I'm going to run through this one at 1 times. So, let's see. I'm actually going to go 2 times until it starts. I can't tell if this is the one where we waited a long time. Okay, he goes with that, so I'm going to start that at 1. So I fireball right here, and I play a Goblin Game. He's up about 1 elixir, but he zaps, so I knew we were up 1 elixir off of that trade, because Hog Rider 7. We did 7, and then I also, he zapped my Goblin Gang. So right here, I believe I just send a miner to the tower. I know Hog Rider decks traditionally don't have pump, so I'm going to be sending that in, trying to bait out a fireball in this situation, but he's smart and he plays the Ice Golem and Goblins. The cool thing I love about the Minion Horde is that no matter what you like drop it on, and if they fireball or anything along those lines, the Minion Horde just does so much damage per second that even if they fireball, it has to be like a perfectly timed prediction fireball to hit it. And let's say if you're smart enough and you get them to predict it and they don't hit it, then you have such a deadly offensive weapon. So that's what I really like about the Minion Horde in this deck and the minions. Obviously, the double minion synergies to bait out fireballs or their big direct damage spell. So here I'm going to be playing minions on this Inferno Dragon. As you can see, I'm down in damage, but I'm really just trying to scout out his deck, find loopholes in it, and work on how I'm going to get through. And right here he does this. So I play my minions. He doesn't have enough elixir. He was trying to catch me low on elixir, but I ended up getting a really good trade off of that. He ended up dropping 7 into 5, so I got a +2 trade. Right here I believe I'm just going to start a Night Witch in the back or a Giant. So I start a Giant because I'm trying to sponge anything he plays into me. And here I play a Night Witch. I play the Goblins up and high because I'm trying to bait out a zap. I think he zaps right here too, which is awesome because when I play my minions, he doesn't have zap for him. So see, he drops the Mega Knight, and then I kind of spammed Minion Horde right here when I shouldn't have, but I did force him to overcycle, which is fine with me. As you can see, all that stuff, he just zaps it away. So that ended up working out for us. I believe I played a Giant to sponge right here, and I know his hand isn't necessarily the best right now to stop everything, so I do that, and then I think I zap these minions, which wasn't the best, but we cycle another Night Witch into the back. As you see, I'm just trying to play passive right here. I knew he would try to go for a prediction fireball, so what I did right there was actually I'm going to pause. So what I did was I played the Goblin Gang because he knew I'd been playing the Minion Horde. He was going to try and go for a prediction fireball was my main thought. And once he did go for that prediction fireball, like I said, or I don't know if it was quite a prediction fireball, maybe he just saw value with the Night Witch and Goblin Gang, but either way, he used his fireball. So now I'm going to have a really deadly offense when I have the Giant and the Minion Horde. So here we go right here. I'm going to be dropping a Giant in front, and then I'm going to be dropping a Miner in the back of the tower. We're going to end up getting a lot of damage here, even if he does drop a Mega Knight. I get the Fireball down. I zap that Inferno Dragon. I'm just trying to get this Giant to get one more hit right here. It gets that one more hit. So as you can see, I found that loophole. I tried baiting out that spell. I played that Goblin Gang preemptively. He was going to Fireball. I knew that, so I played the Miner. And just took the tower right there, and I took the game. So I'm going to check how long this video. Okay, so we're good. Only 10 minutes in. So I'm going to play one more replay while I try and explain just some matchups to you. Alright, so while this replay is just going, I'm going to run it 2 times. I'm going to go over some of the matchups. Against 3 Musketeers, what you're going to want to be doing is, let's say in single elixir, you're going to want to be punishing their pumps every single time. So that will most likely be Giant Night Witch at the bridge. Let's say they drop a Minion Horde. The Night Witch will accumulate enough bats, and the Minion Horde, once it's dropped, can just be zapped, and all those bats from the Night Witch will take out the Minion Horde, and you'll have a nice punish on their pump, and you'll most likely take their tower in single elixir. Giant Night Witch is such a strong and deadly offensive combination to deal with. And then in double elixir with 3 Musketeers, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be cycling your Giant into the lane with 1 Musketeer so that it can sponge the units in it. And then you can Fireball the 2 Musketeers, or you can choose to play a Minion Horde on top of it and then Miner the tower. So you'll have, in the lane with the 1 Musketeer, you'll have, let's say, a Giant sponging, and then that lane will die. And then once you defend those 2 Musketeers, you'll have the Minion Horde, and then you send the Miner on that side, so you get a nice counter push out of it, both lanes. So that's what I like to do with 3 Musketeers. Against Golem, you're going to be doing the exact same thing against Beatdown. You're going to be punishing early with the Giant and Night Witch combination. Sometimes you can eat the 3 crown off the bat if you just keep the pressure up, but that's not usually what I like to do. I like to play it semi-passive. And then in double elixir, what I like doing is, let's say I'll cycle a Night Witch into the lane with the Golem. It sounds crazy. A lot of people think you want to pressure opposite lane, but what I like to do is I like to cycle a Giant into the lane with the Golem. And then, when the troops get to your side, you'll drop a Giant down, and then you'll drop a Minion Horde on top, or plus a Zap, or whatever you need. But the Giant will buy enough time for it to sponge. And even if, let's say they have arrows or something, you can still, things will clutter to the Giant, so it'll give you a lot of Fireball value in this meta, because everyone's running Bandit, Lumberjack, Night Witch, Mega Minion decks, so you can just Fireball out and get really good value out of it. Let's say you play a Goblin Gang right after, and that will usually clean up the Golem. So that's your main way of taking out Golems. And then I'm just going to play this one, because this is Golem right here, so you'll see what I did. And then, let's see, against Logbait, what you're going to want to do is switch up your counters to the Goblin Barrel, whether it be Minions or whether it be Goblin Gang. I don't suggest Minion Horde, because that just throws so much value into the Princess, and you're never really going to get ahead. So, what I like to do with Logbait, yes, is I play passive in single elixir, and then when double elixir comes, I'll try to counter push, or I'll start a Giant push, and then I'll try to Miner snipe their Princess, and then zap the Inferno Tower. Whether it be I need to play Minions over the middle to distract that Inferno Tower and play the Miner on the Inferno to let the Giant through, whatever it may be, that's what I tend to do with this deck. It can vary sometimes, depending on if they have Princess and Cycle or things along those lines, but that's how you're going to break through and win the match. And then also, let's see, one more deck matchup that I can go against. Hog Rider, basically, that's probably going to be one your hardest matchup, a good Hog player, but just try to keep the pressure up. Let's say if they have archers or a musketeer, use your Miner to snipe that, so they are forced to play their Fireball on whether it be your minions or your minion horde, and then you can play your minions or your horde for whichever one they Fireball. And then, yeah, P.E.K.K.A, I already explained that matchup. You're going to be kiting it. And then, trying to think, okay, so Graveyard, what you can do, there's 2 ways you can deal with it. You can play a Giant into the lane with, let's say, the Executioner and their Knight, and they'll be doing the Splash Yard push or whatever, and you can soak it, and then play Minions behind, and if they poison, you can play, let's say, Minion Horde and then Miner, and they're going to have their cards out of cycle, and also they will have used their poison. Or you can do, so that they don't poison, you can do, let's say, you sense a Graveyard push is coming, like an Ice Golem Graveyard push. Second you sense that coming, you play a Giant at the bridge opposite lane, and then you can just play your minions on top of the Graveyard. A Giant is such a threatening card for them not to deal with when it's placed at the bridge, so they're most likely not going to poison. So I like to vary which one I do in that situation, just because sometimes, like let's say they have Tornado, they might Tornado the Giant to the King Tower, but a majority of the time they're not going to have Tornado, so you should be good. Alright, so now I'm just going to hop into a chest opening. 12-0. Let's see what we get out of this chest, guys. Alright, 22,000 gold, 4 flying machines, 7 tombstones, 7 heals, 53 bats. Trying to make that my last common that get maxed. 13 barbarian huts, 136 cans. We're already maxed. 23 musketeers. We'll take those any day. Already maxed on arrows. So this is gold right there. Battle rams, that's good. I really want some battle rams. And 11 executioners. I'm actually really happy with that. I've been trying to get my executioners level up. So there you guys go. 12-0 grand challenge chest right there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the run through. Once again, here's the deck if you want to screenshot it. And have a good day, and see you guys next time.